G'day fellow moto vloggers Van and Evon. Some Monkey the Suzuki Bandit on this Tuesday evening. Very nice day today. It was about 30 degrees Celsius. No clouds, and around about the same tomorrow again, so that's alright. More riding weather, that's good. So what I want to talk about today, well, I follow a AFL team called the Adelaide Crows, and they've just appointed a person to a high-ranking job, and he just happens to be the ex-premier of the state, the ex-Liberal premier of the state that only lasted one term. And the reason he only lasted one term is because he sold all our utilities off. He sold our electricity. He sold our water. He sold our gas. And so on and so forth. So it's all been privatised, and you all know what happens when stuff gets privatised. You end up paying more. I'll give you an example. I was just talking to my mate, and he just got his electric bill, and he's got a lot of solar panels on his roof, and he was getting a feed-in tariff of such and such, and now they've cut that back, so he's not getting in as much. Well, he's putting electricity into the grid but not getting the money that he should be getting for it, to be quite honest. Consequently, his bill was $150 where he doesn't normally pay anything. So it begs the question, what's the point of having solar energy if you're not going to get anything for it, no reward? You might say, well, get the batteries. Yeah, the problem with that is the batteries aren't cheap. You know, you pay a lot of money. Okay, the government subsidise it, but you still have to pay about $4,000 odd for these batteries. And they don't last forever. If they go down, you've got to replace them. So I understand that your electricity companies, they've got to make money, but when they cut your feed-in tariff to make more money, well, that's because it's owned privately and not by the government. So they should never have sold something that was making the government money. So basically now we're paying for it. Now this particular Liberal government, they want to sell off our train network, and they've already sold off the bus network, and now they want to sell off the trains. Private enterprise. You know what's going to happen there, don't you? It's going to be paying more. And what will happen is people won't bother catching the train or the bus or whatever and drive everywhere if they can. So that means that the government have to put in the rest of the money and subsidise the train network. So they're not gaining nothing, they're actually losing. because no one's going to come in and buy something that's running at a loss, and the trains do run at a loss, the suburban trains. No one's going to do that unless they get some sort of guarantee from the government that they'll subsidise it. So anyway, this is what's happening, and you end up selling all your utilities, and you have to start taxing more because you've got to get that money back from somewhere. And this is why we've got an emergency services levy now that people have got to pay for every year, which was brought in by the Liberals back in Olsen's days. So you just can't win. No matter what you do, you just can't win. And with all this COVID business and what the government's had to pay out, people are going to have to either pay more tax or spend more money or whatever to pay what the federal government's been paying out in job subsidies and stuff like that. It's a bit of a tricky situation, but I'm sure if there's a class action against China from all the countries, that China will pay back all monies. Yeah, right. They're a law into themselves, and they won't pay a thing. Yeah, so it's amazing, isn't it? Where some people get COVID-19 and they're pretty ill, and yet they've still got it 2 weeks later, and still now some people have had it 2 months ago and they're still not well. It's hit them pretty hard, and yet we have a 74-year-old buff-headed United States president who went to hospital and come out 2 or 3 days later saying, I'm cured of COVID-19. The lying son of a bitch never had COVID-19. He just had an ordinary cold and went to hospital for it. And because there's an election coming up, he's made out he's had COVID and he's over it and there's nothing to be scared of. Look at me. I got through it. I'm 74. I'm a big buffhead. I've got comorbidities because I'm a big fat obese bastard. But look at me. I'm better within a few days. The man never had it. The president never had it. It's all a political stunt. But anyway, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. This is Bandit Nev on Samuki, the Suzuki Bandit, on this Tuesday evening, bidding you all very, very, very safe riding. And until next time, cheers for now. Biden 2020, vote for Biden.